Ooh, that was classy.
Bust somebody's eardrums.
There comes a time where the most anticipated has to be revealed, and the time is today. Welcome into A Test Film, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Trey.
And I'm one of your hosts, Ebo. That was very unexpected, but that was a hell of an opening.
I have been looking forward to this list, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. Over the past 24 hours, me and A's really been fighting on this list.
We have.
There's been cuts. There's been movies that I have been fighting to keep in. I've had to fight to make the realization it needs to be out. But we're going to bring you our top of the year.
Best of the year.
And A, why don't you tell the viewers how we're going to deliver it?
So here's what we're going to do, guys. We have a jam-packed episode. Buckle in, buckaroos. So we're going to start out. We like to end on a positive note. So we're going to start out with some negative. Trey's going to give his bad movies of the year. I'm going to give my dishonorable mention and my worst of the year. You know, probably going to be controversy somewhere. Then, very special treat. Not often we get this, but Spencer herself will be on the pod giving her best of the year, leading into Trey giving his honorable mentions, me giving my honorable mentions, and then we're going to be putting everything on the line when we each give what we consider the best films of the year. So stay tuned. But, my boy, we got some nice champagne, compliments of my boy.
Thank you.
Mianetta Prosecco. Very nice, very nice. And stay tuned to the very end of the episode, because I like to put in sometimes when we do like funny stuff, editing room floor, if you were.
Yeah.
So at the very end of the episode, stay tuned. There's some nice ASMR for you.
Yeah, 100%.
But Trey, will you start us off with your worst of? Tell us how many you got, and then just get into it, my boy.
So this is going to be funny. I have two.
Only two bad movies.
Only two, because y'all know me now. Y'all been following us. I'm not a hard critic when it comes to movies. There's not a lot of movies that just really dig into me, and I'm just like, I need to bash this movie publicly, and I need to let people know not to go see these movies. But needless to say, there is two.
There is two.
But starting at number 2.
Okay, I like this. Just two.
We have The Deliverance.
The Deliverance. Oh,
yes.
I never saw this.
You never saw this?
Isn't this a Netflix film?
Yes.
I never saw this.
Well, let me just tell y'all, this movie was atrocious. I need someone to get in touch with Glenn Close to figure out what she was promised, what kind of salary she was promised.
Not my friend Glenn Close.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. You might have to call her, because this discredited years of excellent work she's done in the filmmaking industry. This movie was so bad. It was so predictable. It was almost like, was this Tyler Perry? I feel like this was a Tyler Perry movie. This was Tyler Perry just saying, I want to get in the scary movie industry. I don't know anything about the scary movie industry, so let me just put a bunch of movies together that I've, from all the tropes, and also I'll find one loosely based on a true story.
How are the wigs in this movie? That's the only question I need to know now.
Oh, the wigs were horrible.
Okay, yeah.
The wigs were horrible. But hey, no sound bar.
Hey.
No little sound. Yeah, no boom
When we
mic.
started recording, I was like, I put this mic where it's in the shot. Usually I try and hide it, but I was like, it's okay. We're just going to Tyler Perry this one. So it's funny that you actually had one on your list.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So it was very, very bad. And I would tell anyone not to see this movie. I mean, really, just at the end of the day, I did not think this was a great movie. Spencer liked it. But she likes about anything. I don't think she'll, turn down a
Spencer
movie.
is one of the most forgiving of movie people I've ever met.
She is. But Eddie, you've seen a bunch of Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah.
You've probably had a couple on your worst of the years at some points, wouldn't you say?
No, because when it comes to his, like, I know what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
Although I will say, what was the movie that we were talking about with the boom mic?
Fall
from
from
Grace.
Grace.
That one was the only one because I was like, Tyler, I've been to your studio. I've literally worked in his studio.
Yeah.
I know what he is capable of. And that movie, like how you can have cuts where the character is wearing different wigs,
Mm-hmm.
where you can have the boom mic, sitting there in the shot.
Yeah.
Where you have extras in the background that don't even have drink in their glass, don't even have food on their plate. Like, at least when I would film stuff, we would have, like food. We're not eating it, but at least there's something on the plate.
Yeah.
But when you're just like doing the fork and knife to a plate, like, come on now.
I know what you mean. Well, this leads me into my number one worst movie of the year.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And funny enough, I haven't even told you about this. I watched this yesterday.
Oh.
I watched the worst movie of the year on almost the last day of the year.
Okay.
And it's only because I heard how bad it was. I just haven't had the courage to actually watch it. Oh man, it was an ending truly does ruin a movie.
Ooh.
And that is The Joker.
Oh.
Have you watched it?
Yes. I watched it during work yesterday.
Buddy, I'm sorry you had to sit through that.
I feel like spoilers need to be said with that movie, just so it can save people's time. I'm
saving my thoughts because we might have this movie brought up again.
They should just let this movie a one-off fun musical. Then it would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been good. The ending discredited everything that this supposedly franchise could have started. I mean, I don't know if they'll do a third Joker. I hope they do not.
They'll do it.
There's no way, really, but
there actually is no way.
Yeah, there's really no way. But it was just such a decision. I think it was too artsy, and Todd Phillips really thought it was going to go one way. I think he was really thought that his vision was going to captivate audiences when all it was going to do was just upset everybody. Because this is coming from someone who really enjoyed the first Joker. Yeah. The first Joker was really good, and he really could have built something special off of us. But oh man, talk about a downfall of a franchise.
Yeah, talk about fall from grace.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, but yeah, that wraps up my my worst of the year.
Well, so I have some dishonorable mentions.
Yep,
and my worst of the year. I'll go through the dishonorable mentions quick. I got 10.
Okay.
Like I said, your boy, I see a lot though.
Yeah.
What people have to understand is I mean, hell, I went to the actual theater 107 times this year.
Yeah.
I intake a lot, so I see things differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my dishonorable mentions, I got Prey. This was a Ryan Felipe movie involving where they crash in like a safari area and lions are hunting them.
Okay. Sounds pretty generic.
Like, generic, but my issue is you're making this a lion movie, but unlike the 2007 Prey, which similar thing, family stuck, this was trying to be like, oh, we got to make sure that people really appreciate the story. It's like, dog, you're getting hunted by lions. Just give us lions.
Well, I mean, and we got Beast a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and Beast was
pretty
solid.
And then there was that one, Peroi or whatever.
Yeah.
With the lion in the city. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
Prey, bad. This one would be higher, this next one, except it made me laugh at how absurd, dumb, what a waste of time it was. So I did get some enjoyment.
Yeah.
That's Megalopolis.
Yeah.
I still don't know what this movie's about.
No one does.
No one does. But I'll tell y'all this, John Voight with a bow and arrow shooting people while he's looking like this. And Aubrey Plaza like throwing Shia LaBeouf on the desk. And like, what do you want to do for me? What do you want to do for your aunt? Like, there's some funny stuff in the movie.
I couldn't even force myself to see it.
Please,
heard
y'all don't.
It was an absolute abomination. And honestly, I think that's why my worst of the years is so low, because I have problems putting myself
You do what I should do. You skip stuff. I seek it out because I'm like, I have to know now.
Once I hear it's a travesty, you know,
Next up, we got Salem's Lot.
Okay.
Just let me down.
Yeah.
I expected more. Never Let Go, the Halle Berry movie.
Okay.
This movie had a good premise, good ideas, but the problem was they couldn't like reel it in.
Yeah.
I think if they had someone touch up the script, where it was a little clearer, because everyone in it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just the idea doesn't get fleshed out enough where you really get what's happening.
Yeah.
Next up, The Monkey Man.
Oh.
Dev Patel's first movie.
Yeah, hurts me.
It's okay. Like most of the ones in my dishonorable mention, it's just they're badder movies.
Yeah.
But they're not like the worst movies.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon Part 2. What needs to be said?
That no explanation needed for that one.
This was a tough year too for musical stuff. We got Bob Marley's One Love. I was very excited for this movie.
Oh man.
You know, I like the lead actor, but this movie, you got Bob Marley.
Yeah.
You know, amazing songwriter. And you make it one of the most boring movies.
Yeah, he had a lot behind him. He had a story to tell. Yeah. For that to be a boring movie is disappointing.
Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse movie.
Okay.
Also very boring.
Yeah.
They couldn't, I don't know, it was too long, I feel.
Okay.
They just seemed like they were trying to fill space at points. Scrambled.
Never heard of it.
So basically this girl who very unlikable, very spoiled.
Okay.
Like she doesn't work for a living. Her parents pay for everything.
Yeah.
She can't keep a guy. So she's like banging guys left and right. And then she decides, you know what? I'm going to make better of myself. I'm going to get impregnated and have a baby. It's like, sis, your daddy pays for your house. You're unlikable. Like, what are you doing? Why are you bringing a child into this world?
Oh, man.
It just let me down because I'm like, baby, you're giving the wrong message here, because the actress who acted in it also wrote and directed it.
Okay.
So guess it was a passion project of hers. She could have done better.
Yeah.
And finally, the only reason this isn't on my worst year is it came out last year.
Okay.
But for dishonorable mention, I'm allowing it. The Zone of Interest.
Okay.
All this Oscar accolades.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the most contrived movies I've seen.
I never saw it.
So it's like, hey, Holocaust, bad.
Yeah.
But for, German soldiers, this was just Tuesday. So let's show them just like cooking in their patio, and in the background you hear like people screaming and crying. And it's like
interesting story to tell, because we never see what it's like with the soldier's point of view. So I could see it being interesting, but it
didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I felt it was just bad and kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
But here's what y'all want. You want my 9 worst movies of the year.
Yeah.
So number 9, The Exorcism.
Yeah, okay. Happy to hear that.
Russell Crowe plays an actor who's in a movie where they're doing an exorcist movie and a real possession happens. Decent premise. Russell Crowe is cooked. Let's stop. Russell, I love you, bud. I'm a fan of Pope's Exorcist. Y'all know I'm a Pope's Exorcist defender.
Yeah.
Probably bad to defend that, but I'm a Pope's Exorcist defender. This, though, terrible.
Yeah.
And I hate it because he's just playing all these weird characters where he's almost in like a Melissa McCarthy arc where his shtick is, hey, I'm fat. Let me make sure to throw some fat humor. It's like, dude, you are Academy Award winner, nominee. You're better.
Let me just say this. I swear certain cities, especially around in Italy, the Vatican, I swear they make a contract with the city.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, the movie has rights to film in these areas for a year. So we get 13 Exorcist movies, We
get a lot.
It just has not, I don't know where this inflow of Exorcist movies.
Just this year alone, we had Exorcism, we had Immaculate, we had First Omen.
Yep.
So we had a lot just this year.
And then previously we had Pope's Exorcist. Had Exorcist Believer.
Yeah.
That
is weird.
Yeah.
But number 8, The American Society of Magical Negroes. This movie, I put my worst year because it let me down.
Yeah.
The trailer sold me. The cast is a movie that most people would want. And it presents this idea where I'm like, yes, I want this idea. I want this discussion about race and all this. And then by the end of it, it becomes a parody of itself. And I'm like, what are you doing? You were there.
Okay.
You had a spark, and then you extinguish your own spark because you're like, well, we don't want to make people feel too uncomfortable where they don't come see it.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know how many movies make people feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And then that opens discussion.
Yeah.
So they played safe. And for that, it gets a big letdown from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 7, Your Monster.
Okay.
This is a musical. I say that only because there's like 1 or 2 musical scenes.
Yeah.
Melissa Barrera, she basically is having like a nervous breakdown, and she goes to her family home where there's a monster living there.
Oh.
Who's basically like, imagine a Sasquatch dressed like a hipster. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's what it looks like. It literally just is like a Bigfoot dressed like a hipster. I put this movie on here because I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this is the worst script I've seen in the past 20 years.
Yeah, from what you described, I didn't need much more.
The dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the Sasquatch, his only thing is, I'm just going to see how many F-bombs I can drop in a sentence.
Man, I hate that.
When you do that, you're like, you tell us, okay, you don't actually know what you're writing.
Yeah, exactly. That's just filler.
Number 6, The Crow.
Yes.
Woof.
It would have been on mine probably if I
Yeah.
had seen it. I, again, couldn't force myself to see it because that's a movie, it got 0 marketing.
Yeah.
The reviews came in hot and bad,
Yeah.
And then when you watch it, just looked like a CW trailer.
It really does.
It didn't look.
It's bad.
Yeah.
We didn't need it.
No.
And there's nothing when you watch it, you're like, I have to tell somebody.
Right.
Everything's generic.
Exactly.
Number 5, this one hurt because Trey and I love slasher movies. So number 5 is Founders Day.
Oh.
I was really excited. I liked the
Worst of
costume.
year. Wow.
But this movie is so bad, and the ending is worse than Scream. Was it Scream 6?
Yeah.
Where it was like the police guy.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of the ending of Scream 6.
This one's worse.
Wow.
I'll tell you. So don't seek out Founders Day.
Dang, it had such promise.
So all these movies I've said are movies where I'm like, these are just bad.
Yeah.
These next 4, though, your boy has beef with.
Yeah.
So number 4, we have Sasquatch Sunset.
Okay.
This should have been a
Yeah.
10-minute short.
Yeah.
Imagine sitting in a theater for an hour and a half
Yeah.
with 4 actors dressed like Bigfoot
Mhm.
going
Yeah.
for an hour and a half.
How did they get those actors?
Riley
actresses-
Keough.
Yeah. How did they get them to sign up?
Jesse Eisenberg. And it's just them walking around scratching themselves.
For that? I think the producers presented with them all the drugs they could have asked for. And that
I don't even know if drugs would have helped. It's just, it should have been a short. If it had been a
Yeah.
10-minute short, I would have been like, that was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But an hour and a half movie of
Mhm.
people just walking around
Yeah.
and very sexual, which was kind of weird. Like they keep pulling out their little like Sasquatch. You know?
Bits,
Yeah.
little parts.
Yeah. It was gross. Number 3, Joker Folie à Deux.
Yeah.
This movie should have been called Folie à Poo because that's
Yeah.
what it is. This movie is terrible.
It was.
What's the worst part is the director, Todd Phillips, he made Lady Gaga untrain herself to sing because he wanted her to sing as well as Joaquin Phoenix can.
Yeah.
When you take one of the best singers we have going
Yeah.
and are like, hey, we need you to sound like the girl that hangs out behind the Dollar General.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
Well, and such a waste of talent because
Mhm.
she could have been a fantastic Harley Quinn.
Dude,
If they really would
yeah,
have
because she's not
embodied it.
Harley Quinn. She's like Harley.
Yeah.
And
Another interesting decision.
it's
by
just,
Todd
it's
Phillips.
bad. I'm going to hurt my boy and my girl with this one. Number 2, Ricky Stenicki.
Oh, damn.
It's well known.
Over Borderlands. Oh, man.
It's well known on this podcast and in life in general, I'm not a comedy person. And this movie, I hated from start to finish. I didn't laugh. I just hated everything about it. I hated the script.
I loved Ricky Stenicki.
I hated the people. I hate everything.
It was so fun.
But Eddie's number one worst of the year, and I also saw it this week, Trey. That is Baby Girl. I don't care about the recognition this movie's getting. This movie is terrible characters. This movie is terrible acting. This movie is a terrible script. And it's just, there's so much better you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to watch a movie about, a submissive relationship between a like higher up and an underling, watch The Secretary. If you want to see a movie with nudity, watch The Substance. If you want to see a movie about sex, watch Nora. There's just so many better movies that you can waste your time with than this, half-cocked movie. I mean, hell, watch 50 Shades of Grey if that tells you how bad I think of Baby Girl.
Yeah, that's pretty low bar.
Watch old 50 Shades of Grey. But yeah, Baby Girl.
The acting was bad though?
The acting was bad.
I heard that was good at least.
Because Nicole Kidman, like her whole shtick is, I'm so old and hideous now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, baby, how about this? Oh, but I will bring up one thing. Nicole Kidman, we got beef. Because as I told y'all, I've been to a theater over 100 times this year.
Yeah.
Almost all those were AMC, except when I was visiting them in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit through your stupid, when you walk in the theater, it feels good in a place like this, so many times, but you didn't play it in front of Baby Girl. What's the deal with that? Why is it not in front of your stupid movie?
It didn't play today.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Nosferatu, it did?
Yeah,
it did.
It did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, because it goes Sonic and then the one with like the couple sharing the Coke and then her.
I didn't even see her.
But yeah, it didn't play in front of Baby Girl, and I want to know why. Is it because the opening scene is like freaking Antonio Banderas railing you? Is that why? Tell us, Nicole.
Zorro. How do you do this to Zorro?
But it's time to get in best of year. And you know what? As they say, ladies first. So Trey, would you mind giving your chair to Spencer?
You want me to get on?
Yeah, you got to get on.
I'm gonna get on.
You got to get on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast one of our favorite human beings, the love of Trey's life, Miss Spencer.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Massive.
Okay. So my first honorable mention, I had the best time watching this. It's not the best movie just because it's chaotic as hell.
Okay.
But we've got Terrifier 3.
Oh, wow.
I loved it. It's not great, but it was a fun time.
Baby.
We had a good time all seeing it together.
That's right.
Okay, so it was number 2. So my number 1 honorable mention. Can smell your nappy pussy from here.
No.
The Deliverance.
What the heck?
I laughed so much watching this movie. It sucks. It is genuinely crap. Okay. But it was the funniest time I have had. Trey laughed too. Don't let him fool you.
Oh yeah, I laughed.
I don't I don't know. I'm not like the hardest critic like them. I don't like a lot of movies. I'm very like basic when it comes to movie, and if something's like too artsy, I don't like it. If it's whatever, but no, Deliverance was hilarious.
But it wasn't intending to be.
No, it wasn't. But that was what was still funny. That's why it's an honorable mention, because I was crying laughing. You've got like slutty ghetto Glenn Close. Her wigs were off the chain.
What?
Yeah,
She's got her bra showing.
Yeah.
Like,
Not my
she
friend Glenn
looked
Close.
wild, and I loved it.
I don't know how they convinced her to do
I
that.
loved it. I had a great time.
She gave me a
hilarious.
hug one time. No big deal.
Hey man.
That line though is so just out of pocket when she says it. Like, just you have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
It
Now.
was comical.
Yeah.
All right, number 13.
All right, so Spencer's
This is my best.
top 13 best movies of the year.
Okay.
And I will say, because I looked through that Movie Insider website to see every movie this year. I haven't seen too many apparently, because I didn't know half of them. But I came up with 13 at the end, so that's all you need to know. But my number 13,
Oh, no.
Ricky Stenicki.
Oh god, there it is.
I really liked it. I only saw it once. Most of these I've only seen one time, so like I'm not giving it the most like critical thought. I probably forgot, the plot of 9 out of 10 of these. But I remember liking Ricky Stenicki. I love John Cena. I think he's hilarious.
Trey was just touching. I have a John Cena.
Oh.
This is his last time wrestling, so I have a John Cena towel.
I was like, what is happening? I love John Cena. I thought it was hilarious.
I love John Cena.
Number 12, I liked and didn't like this movie. I ended up putting it on the list. It was way too long, but it was so odd, and I just feel like it was one that people need to watch. I've got Poor Things.
Oh,
From last year. in
Interesting.
December, yeah.
Was that last year?
but
But
it was
counts.
limited,
It counts if you see it for the first
Yeah.
time this year.
and
So-
it
okay.
did go wide stream this year.
Oh, okay.
So
I was
it
like,
definitely
it was on
counts.
the 2024 list.
that's a valid one because
Might be. It was weird.
you couldn't. It was
It's
a train
so
wreck.
weird.
You couldn't take your eyes
Yeah.
off of it though.
It was a fun watch. I feel like it was 3 hours long. It
Oh,
may have
was
been
it was no Yorgos Lanthimos. He does really long,
way too long.
really weird films.
Really weird.
So
Mark
weird.
Ruffalo was such a douche in that movie.
Yeah. But then you got
It was
Emma Stone,
great.
like horny,
Yeah.
weird Frankenstein girl. It
Yeah.
was
She's just-
crazy.
It literally was one of those you could not take your eyes off.
Yeah.
I couldn't have left halfway. I need to see it through.
Yeah, you just end up
I
watching it and
needed
you're
to
kind of
see
like, this
through.
sucked, but also I liked it.
That dang like duck pig.
yeah.
Let's see.
yeah.
This puts me at 11.
11.
11. Oh, wow. 11 is featuring 11. We got Damsel
Damsel was
from
good.
Netflix.
Damsel was solid. I'm glad
That
to
was
see that made
really
your list.
good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Kind of similarly, female badass. We've got
Yep.
Prey.
Oh.
Did that come out this year? Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
That was 2022.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other Prey then.
Yeah.
That was the shit you were talking about.
Yeah.
Whoops. I just saw Prey and I was like, oh yeah, I like that one. Okay, never mind. We'll take that off the list.
Like the Predator.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
2022.
That was our number one or
Yeah.
two movie of the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I listened to this podcast very closely and I
Obviously.
recall all of that.
Obviously.
Okay, well, never mind. That's
Hey,
the
I'll
wrong
allow
Prey.
it,
In
though.
your defense, 2020, 2024 has been a blur.
Yeah.
These have been
Honestly.
the 4
No,
fastest years.
What it was, I was just scrolling down the list and I just saw Prey and I said, oh, I liked Prey.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
That was a great
Whoops.
movie. We'll count it.
Number 9. Got Civil War.
Civil War was good.
I really liked Civil War.
Yes.
Ending pissed me off, but I still really liked the whole movie.
It made sense though.
Yeah.
After like the trauma he had gone through, he just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm talking about girl getting it at
Oh,
the end.
oh yeah,
that pissed me
yeah,
off. I
that
was like, are you
that
serious?
did tick me off.
Yeah.
But that also made sense because Kaylee Spaney,
Mhm.
she really it showed that she had gone from this timid girl
Mhm.
to hey, I'm getting the shot.
To
no
getting
matter
Mary
what.
Jane killed.
Yeah.
Well, and it also showed her
Spoiler alert.
still
Yeah.
being a rookie and making
Yeah.
mistakes. You know?
Snubble.
And that was a great movie.
That was
and
really good. We saw that in theaters.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
It was
walked
good.
out thinking like, damn, that was cool.
It was.
Alex
Garland.
Yeah.
Next up, I've got Oddity.
That was a-
Yes,
We just
baby.
watched
That
that.
movie was so spooky.
It was
I actually
so
watched
good.
that 2 times. I
Yeah.
don't watch movies over and over
She
again,
doesn't.
but that was really
And
good.
it was a quick movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was only an hour. It was under an hour and a half, and
it was
lean
cool.
and mean.
The wooden guy was freaky. I thought I had
Yeah.
good twists at the
The
end.
part where she's looking through the camera
Yes.
and the guy
Mhm.
pops up gave me chills.
Yeah.
And then the part where she looks out and he's just like,
Well,
Or when she looks over the banister and he's just staring up at her
Yeah.
like with the
Yes.
wide mouth. I was like, oh god.
Well, and there's so much misdirection with the movie
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
even in the beginning when it's a psych ward, you're in the head of one of the psych patients and you're hearing this like demonic scream.
Yeah.
So you don't know, is the movie demonic? Is it grounded? Is it an actual killer?
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, is there ghosts? Like what's going
Right.
on? And it kind of meshed it all together and it had a beautiful conclusion.
Yeah.
yeah,
I loved Oddity.
It was really
top
good.
notch. And it was cool that she was playing both sisters.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. She did a really good
Mhm.
job. Because she just very well distinguished herself as two different characters.
Yeah.
Like,
It took
she-
me a second to realize it was the same actress.
Yeah, she was good.
hmm Next up, I have Long Legs.
Let her in
Yeah,
now.
baby.
I loved Long Legs. I thought it
Me
was so
too.
weird and like, I mean, it's not great, but I don't know, dude. It was just a weird movie. I feel like you have to see it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that you just tell people, you're like, you just have to go see it.
Yeah.
It's-
And
I don't have an explanation
it
for
is
it. I just like
good
it.
to rewatch because once you've seen it, you can be like, okay, drinking game every time the devil was in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because what you don't realize is like he's like just like
Mhm.
chilling like way back
Like in the
here, way
shadows.
over here or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
was really cool. I liked it. I have not watched that one again. I haven't watched this one again either because it's way too freaking long. Didn't like part 1 that much. I thought it was boring, but part 2, we got Dune. Part
Oh.
2.
That's
Lisa
my
Gaye.
baby. A perfect movie.
Oh no, she's a Benny Gesserit.
Part 1, I mean, I get it. Like you were like, oh, it's just like has to be the setup,
Yeah.
like kind of
Yeah.
world building, whatever. I can understand that, but I was just kind of like boring.
Yeah.
But this one, we had the sandworms.
Yeah.
I was all about it.
It was just really good.
It was just
Yeah.
it was a really just good film.
Mhm.
Right above that, I've got Late Night with the Devil.
That's my bit. That's what I
That's what we want to hear.
That's what I
I've
wanna
seen
hear.
that one multiple times now.
Yeah.
That was really good. Maybe I'm just like a Jimmy Fallon fan too,
Yeah.
and that's why I really
Yeah.
liked it as well.
I know he was
Um,
great.
But I loved this film. Not he was great. What are you talking about?
No, David Dashmakin as like a Jimmy.
As like a Jimmy Fallon type
Yeah.
guy.
I've seen Late Night with the Devil 4 times now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
every watch is just as good.
It's so good.
Mm.
It's so good, you know.
It was really good. I like that one a lot. The final like monster thing, it looked kind of stupid.
That's my same issue. Is
It
the
looked
like
really
electrical
dumb.
monster.
Yeah.
But everything before that.
Yeah,
is
everything
so
else was
good.
so good. Oh, like when the guy thinks he has like those worms in him or whatever.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
When I
that
was in the theater
insane.
and you see the worms, you're like,
yeah,
oh god.
yeah.
They-
I forgot about
it's
that.
cool because the show acts like us as the audience in the
Yeah.
theaters
Mhm.
or audience in the TV
Yeah,
show, and we also get hypnotized.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's really cool how they filmed
It was
that.
really cool. I like that a lot. Right above that, this is number 4. I've got Inside Out 2.
Oh.
I love Inside
That
Out.
was a great experience too.
We saw that at the gym,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Super cute theater in Kannapolis.
It's a
Check
really-
it
That
out.
was a really good movie. Inside Out 2 was
That
solid.
was a fun time. I think we all saw that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Super duper cute. I love Inside Out.
Yeah.
Right above that, I have. Oh, it's my top 3 now.
Top 3. Brought to you by Toast Film.
My number 3 is The Substance.
Oh.
I've never been more proud.
I love
Yeah.
The Substance.
Late Night
I
with the
thought-
Devil, The
Yeah.
Substance.
Me
I've never
too,
been so
man.
proud.
You see the work I've had to do, buddy?
I thought this movie was just wild from start to
It's
finish.
so good.
It was
So
good.
freaking chaotic. But then the end, it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy crap. And then like the finale is just like
Chaos.
insane. Like,
Also, most
disgusting and just hilarious.
I also think it has world record most butts on the screen.
Yeah,
A
probably.
lot of butts, y'all.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Hang, I'm like going back and forth with my 1 and 2.
Well,
Even my 3.
you're on the record.
I just don't think it could be my number
Well,
1.
I know what's in it. I know one movie that's in it, 100%.
Do you?
It's
Well-
kind of the color of this backdrop.
Well, my number 2 then is gonna be Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh wow.
I loved that movie.
That
And
movie.
we also had a good
I
experience.
think we
watching
saw
one.
that
Yeah.
at least 2 times in theaters.
I saw it
maybe
2 times
3.
opening weekend.
and we saw it in 4DX.
Saw it in 4D.
Oh wow.
That was
Water, sound,
awesome.
shaking, everything.
I thought it was
Dude.
hilarious. I loved all the cameos. I
Yeah.
appreciated all the cameos.
Yeah.
He has risen, baby girl.
It was just so freaking good. Like I
It
love
was.
that movie. And I feel like every time I watched it, like I saw even more.
Oh.
And
wow.
then seeing like all the spoiler or like not the spoilers, but kind of like the explanations later on, being like, oh, did you catch this? Did you
Yeah.
catch that?
yeah, I
um,
think I know what your number 1 is then.
Yeah, me too.
Does it have to do with a certain Christmas gift that you gave me?
Yeah, I think so.
Let us speak loud. Let us speak grateful. My number one is Wicked.
Yeah.
I freaking loved Wicked. I was
So
going
good.
back and forth between Deadpool and Wicked. But Wicked, once it came out, it hit my like
Yeah.
Amazon Wrapped or Apple
Yeah.
Music Wrap, whatever. I listen to it constantly now.
Director just doesn't.
In the
miss.
studio, I have a display now, thanks to Spence, where I have the Wicked pops of Glinda and Elphaba, and I have it. Yeah, it's hard.
God,
It's hard
she's
with the background. There you go. But I have that, and I have my cup from when we went opening
Elphaba's
night.
not gonna show up on
Elphaba's
this
not going to show up because the green screen factor.
No, I loved it. We had a really good time
We
seeing
did.
that.
We went IMAX opening night.
I could go see it again. I should go see it
You
again.
should. You got A-list now.
I do, yeah.
Mhm.
Coming up in the world, y'all. We're
Baby.
going to the movies now. We're back in town.
That's right,
We're
They've
baby.
officially
watching
moved back.
movies. Yep. So now we.
She might just be a regular co-host every now and then. Yeah.
But yeah,
But that's a very
my-
good list. So
Solid.
Spencer's,
That's my tops.
tell people real quick, just quick version of your top 13 again for the listeners.
You want like a rundown of the list?
No, just like, yeah, say it real quick though.
All right. Well, now I gotta pull it up. Hell. All right, working our way top to bottom. We've got Wicked, Deadpool and Wolverine, The Substance, Inside Out 2, Late Night with the Devil, Dune 2, Longlegs, Oddity, Civil War. The wrong Prey was listed. I apologize. But Prey was also really good if you haven't seen that. Damsel, Poor Things, Ricky Stenicki, followed by The Honorable, Terrifier 3, and The Deliverance.
Great list.
Yeah,
Great
baby.
list.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Trey, back in the
Very
Thunderdome
All right.
because, my boy, it is time.
All right.
And here's what's cool. So, Trey, Spence, Peyton, it's been a rough 2 years because they were gone.
Mhm.
So when Trey's in Columbus, we talk like weekly about what he's going to see.
Yeah.
But with us being separate, we didn't get to discuss as much.
Right.
So I think there's going to be some surprises for both of us on our list.
Oh, there's 4 movies I know for a fact you haven't seen that's on my list.
But Trey, how about this? How about you start with your honorable mentions? I'll do my honorable mentions, and then we will go on the record for better or for worse with our top 13s.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so my honorable mentions at number 10, because this movie was so surprising. We all saw it together
Oh.
in Hilton Head. Arcadian.
Oh, dude.
Arcadian was such a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Again, we had some people that you either loved it or you hated it.
Yeah.
But to me, it was refreshing. It was very original.
Dude, when that hand's coming in.
Yes. And then also the digging.
Yeah.
And the way their mouths
They're like,
moved like
"Ah."
like an engine.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get if
The
people didn't
ball.
like it. Yeah. But it was just really original. And it had a really cool ending.
Mhm.
And it was cool to see the family fight for each other.
It was.
And another thing I like about it is the kids, they're not kids, but they're teenage guys.
They're young adults.
And it was cool to see when writing gives younger adults smarter thinking and not just your generic bad decision.
I love the brother with the trap idea.
Yeah, me too.
That was cool.
It's refreshing to see like when people use their brains in situations like that and you don't expect it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wanted to throw Arcadian on the list
That's a
just
good one.
because I feel like it needed to get some love. It had probably not much marketing,
No, none.
and I just think it needed a shout out. At number 9, courtesy of my boy,
Oh,
First Omen.
great movie.
First Omen did not deserve to be that good. The acting was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a direct sequel from the 70s Omen.
Well, more like
with
a prequel.
yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
yeah,
you're right. No, it
First
is.
Omen.
Yeah, it's a prequel. Yeah, from old Gregory Peck.
Yeah.
And they really did their research. I mean,
Tiger Nail.
whoever did the First Omen must have been a big fan of the original.
Mhm.
and knew how to weave that story directly
Mm-hmm.
into the original. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and pretty kind of haunting. Like,
Yeah.
actually had some really good visuals.
The scene where they're like on a field trip or something,
Mhm.
and she's like having that, like, I don't know if you call them flashbacks, but like when she's having those visions
Mhm.
and she's in the crowd
Oh
and
yeah,
she's just
yeah,
like
100%.
terrifying. It looks like something to be like in a war film.
Well, and another thing about the movie, you don't think with a movie that didn't get that marketing, and it was coming in during a time where the exorcism movies were kind of feeling oversaturated.
Yeah.
They put a lot of thought and care, and they kept going above where I thought they would go.
Mhm.
And it paid dividends for that, you know. So I really enjoyed
This
it.
and Immaculate both
Yeah.
brought it.
For sure. At number 8, in my honorable mentions, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh,
Really solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to mention, I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. We had some great experiences with it. Definitely felt like Marvel was kind of back, you know, with that movie, but just so many other good movies.
Yeah.
And I'm a horror man at heart.
He
It's
is.
just so hard, you
You
know.
like to hear it.
At number 7, and this one's gonna hurt my boy a little bit, but I really enjoyed it. The Fall Guy.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Look, as long
That is
as
fine.
my thing is, I understand how hard it is to make the best of, to make, you know, an honorable mention. So for that movie just to even be included in your honorable mention, that warms me.
Yeah, and it
Because
really
you know
was.
I love that movie. So I'm very happy that you at least put it in. We all watched it together.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a great night. We all we rented it from Vudu, where they have like the $20 rental that
Yeah.
they've been doing lately. We rented it from Vudu and we had a good old time.
Man, and let me tell you, it's just a fun movie.
Practical stunts,
A fun movie. I love the
Ryan
cast.
Gosling.
Yeah.
Hottest
and-
man alive. Emily Blunt, you know, she's cute too.
Man, yeah,
Kidding.
yeah. I really enjoyed The Fall Guy, and I actually need to buy it. I still don't own it yet. At number 6, we're a little different on opinions on this one. Number 6, Monkey Man.
The Monkey Man.
I really enjoyed it. I remember seeing that in Charlotte. Went to the theaters by myself on that one, and just a fun movie. I mean, I had some problems with it, and that's why
That's more your area.
I
though.
do like action movies. I think Dev Patel did a good job in his opening directorial debut. It had a really good finale.
Yeah.
And I love seeing a coming of age in it, not as like a young adult to an adult, but as an adult
into himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I did have some issues with it, and some of the same issues Eddie had. There was a good bit of unnecessary flashbacks. I
Yeah.
feel like we didn't need that much
Because it was the
but-
same scene.
Yeah, same scene, but they gave us an unredeemable villain.
Yeah. Terrible.
Despicable. And I always commend a good revenge movie with that type of writing for a villain. And it was cool to see Dev Patel morph into the Monkey Man with the training arc, and he really, you know, you see him get beat up a good bit, he overcomes that and becomes stronger. It was really fun for me.
I saw enough where, even though I didn't care for it, I saw enough where I'm like, okay, if he can just work with people, hone in a little, I think his next, you know, maybe the second or third movie he directs, I think is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and with Dev Patel, I'm actually happy to see his first movie was an action movie.
Yeah.
And kind of like Wukong, you know, which I thought was really cool. Normally, Dev Patel's in so many dramas.
A lot of dramas.
I felt like his first movie would have been a drama, so it was cool to see. At number 5, this movie is in the horror community's heart. This does not differ. Mads.
Oh
Man,
I have not seen it, but the Horror Fight podcast,
yes,
they recently got me where I'm aware of it, and I added it to my list to check out.
Let me tell you, you're not going to be disappointed. The only thing I know you're not big on like trippy psychedelic type movies. That might be the only downfall of this movie for you, but it is very psychological.
Yeah.
You know, in the first 20 minutes of the movie, what you're getting into. And I'll just say this because I'm very excited. Guy goes to his plug to get like some drugs, some pills, takes the pill, and as he's driving back, he finds a woman on the side of the road, right? Picks her up, and in the car, as they start to drive off, she slams her head into the dashboard, just butchering herself. And you have to go on this journey with this guy, and you're like, is this drugs? Is this really happening? Like it was a psychedelic, psychological trip. It was such a good movie. But I'll tell you this, you never knew where that movie was going. And I think it benefited from it.
Hell yeah.
At number 4, I have Rebel Ridge.
Oh, that's a great one.
I love the director. Director did one of my favorite movies, Blue Ruin. He also did Green Room, which I love. And I thought this was a great movie. A little long, but an amazing acting debut for Aaron Pierre, I want to say.
I think so. I know he's going to be Jon Stewart in the Lanterns movie show, which got me hyped.
Well, I mean, he's just this guy came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's in just massive, big blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
He's good.
He is good. He is very good. At number 3, top 3 of the honorable mentions, I have The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Such a fun movie.
It really is.
The opening scene on the boat where the Nazis like come on the boat and they're like, "Oh, shoot him! Somebody's in trouble."
The movie,
and then just
yeah. Well, and I think the biggest takeaway for me is that I'm the biggest James Bond fan. I've been a big James Bond fan since I was little, and this story was based off of the writings of James Bond. The guy who Henry Cavill played, that was a secret agent and went behind enemy lines. He based James Bond off of that. So, I mean, of course, I'm gonna love it.
This was Matthew Vaughn, right? Guy Ritchie.
This was Guy Ritchie.
I get those two mixed up sometimes.
But man, this was a fun movie. Just good action. Great cast. I mean, Alan Richardson, Henry Golding, Henry Cavill. Oh my God. Rodriguez. What's her first name?
I don't know, but she was very
great.
Good.
But
I like the scene when she's like shooting the guns and she picks up a grenade and they're like, "Oh!"
Just a fun movie. And we saw that one in Charlotte. It was really good.
That was a good one.
At number 2, I don't know if you saw this movie. Maybe you have. But I thought it was fantastic. The Monk and the Gun.
I've never even heard of this film.
Oh my goodness. I will say history movie.
Okay.
But it takes place in a village. And, obviously the monks are a big part of this, but they're learning democracy and voting. And that's not the way everything's been done before. It really has a good story and a fun little twist. So I would love to rewatch that one with you.
The Monk and the Gun.
The Monk and the Gun. Really solid movie.
I'll check it out.
And number 1, I think this was the hardest thing for me.
So you're technically number 14.
Best
because you're saying this is the number 1 honorable mention. So it almost was best of the year.
Almost best of the year. And I got to say, this was the hardest thing. This single-handedly was the hardest decision.
It's the hardest one.
Always is. Eczema.
Oh, I haven't heard
Eczema.
I haven't heard of this one either.
This movie, so Korean horror film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Eczema. That's how it should be pronounced.
Cool.
If you took The Wailing, and you combined The Wailing with Memoirs of a Murderer, you get Eczema.
Okay.
And so, foreign film, Korean films, subtitles, it is fantastic. It is every generation of this family is getting haunted.
Oh, geez.
and the main protagonist is a shaman.
Oh.
And a shaman and their underling that's kind of studying under them,
Mhm.
and they do detective work to figure out. Imagine an It Follows if they figured out where it all began. Like they,
Oh.
yeah. So that's kind of where it goes. But then they have to find out, because essentially it's cursed ruins on a burial ground.
Ooh.
And they have to do detective work to figure out where it is, but
Mhm.
that's only the half of it. And it is so
Dude, okay,
good.
you got some stuff on my radar,
Yeah.
my boy.
I'm telling you, and it's all Shudder.
Oh.
So it's all on Shudder. But that's
I
why
have that.
I've definitely been, and so is Mads. So you definitely check that one out. So that's my my
Dude,
top 10 honorable
solid
mentions.
list, my boy.
I appreciate it, man.
Solid list. All right. So my 10 honorable mentions. And there's kind of a theme with how I line these up.
Uh-huh.
So starting out, number 10 and 9 are movies where I saw them early in the year. And as Trey, was bringing up to me earlier, January, February, we kind of forget movies.
Yeah.
These two, though, stuck with me because they have great performances. I thought they were directed well.
Yeah.
And they bring a lot. But
Yeah.
they're just kind of like tossed aside. Hey, let's dump them in January.
Right.
So number 10, we have Double Down South.
Okay.
Independent movie.
I haven't heard of it.
Kim Coates, who's known from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Basically, he's in the middle of, BFE, backwoods, Georgia.
Yeah.
And he has this pool hall.
Okay.
And people come from everywhere in the South to play pool at this place.
Okay.
And this girl comes and, she's got like a secret and she's trying to like work her way up the ranks.
Okay.
Just a good little drama.
Yeah.
Number 9, ISS.
Yes.
I've said it so many times on this podcast. There's only 6 actors in the entire movie.
Yeah.
They're stuck on the International Space Station and war breaks out.
Yeah.
3 Russian, 3 American. One person on each side is like, these are our friends. We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
One person's conflicted on each side, and one person's like, hey, I'm just going to go over there and kill all 3 of them right now.
Yeah.
And just a nice little bottle drama.
Yeah.
Where they're trapped. But 100%. Very good acting.
Well, and everyone has a different ideology
yeah.
on how things should be handled. So you've got
Ariana DeBose,
yeah.
So good acting. So the next 3 are animated movies. I love animated movies.
Okay.
So number 8, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1.
Oh.
Me and Trey love the DC animated films.
Yeah, we do.
And they did this 3-part Crisis on Infinite Earths. I wasn't crazy about 2 and 3.
I never saw 3.
But 1 is so good. And they do this story with the Flash that you don't know about because you're trying to figure out, okay, who's this old couple?
Yes.
And when they do that reveal, I was like, that is such a beautiful idea.
It was.
And the animation's good. So that had to go on here. At number 7, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim.
Oh.
This is a anime style Lord of the Rings movie. The voice acting is top tier.
Yeah.
The action, just imagine any epic anime movie.
Yeah.
These war scenes are beautiful. They're imaginative. Everything is great. And it's basically how Helm's Deep became Helm's Deep.
Ah.
At number 6, we have Flow. So this movie, it's getting some talks about this could be, an Oscar nominee.
Okay.
This is a movie, I think it's like an hour 15, hour 20. So not too long. Very nice.
Okay.
Basically, there's this little black cat. And this flood, this is a like Noah level flood. It hits the valley he lives in. And there's a boat going by. And he jumps on the boat right before he was going to drown. And on the boat, there's a capybara. There's some dogs. And there's a bird.
Where did this even release on?
In theaters.
What?
Yeah, Flow. And this movie, the animation is so beautiful.
Huh.
Just, and there's no human characters. There's no dialogue. All these animals, they had a sound engineer record actual animals.
Cool.
So every time the cat is making the noise, like where it's hissing, meowing,
Yeah.
it's a real cat. The dogs, that's real dogs barking.
Okay.
And I just thought the idea was so cool. I thought the movie was so beautiful. There's a scene where a character dies and they do like a heaven analogy that it was just one of the most beautiful things I've seen in theaters all year.
Wow.
So Flow had to be on my honorable mention. But like I
Okay.
said, it's one of those movies where you watch it and you're just taken in by the beauty.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's no dialogue. It's just
Yeah.
animals being animals.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next up, we got some musical, hollers because your boy loves musicals.
Uh-huh.
So at number 5, we got Wicked. Went and saw this opening night. I love the actual musical.
Okay.
And I loved this, but it's one of those things where it's such a just grand thing. I had to give it a shout out.
Yeah. Honestly, it was
But when you see
surprised
the
not higher.
play,
Top 13.
when you see the play and then you
Mhm.
see this, there is a little bit of a difference.
yeah.
And for me, I have such a love and appreciation for the actual play
Mhm.
that this, it's not quite
Yeah.
there.
They sang live, Eddie.
I know they did. Hey, honorable mention. Okay.
Top 10.
So at number 4, we have Mean Girls.
Ugh.
I know a lot of people don't like this. Here's the thing, okay? I have been listening to that soundtrack since this movie came out in January. I especially love World Burns and the song Someone Gets Hurt. I love it. Okay, I don't care what people say. Renee Rapp, you
People
did
saying
good.
plenty.
You did good, man. You did good. But
Love Renee. Don't like the movie.
my top 3 honorable mentions, I can easily say any of these movies could have been in my top 13,
Okay.
but it just missed the cut.
Mm-hmm.
So at number 3, I have Saturday Night Live.
Ah.
They were in when I came to see y'all last up in North Carolina. Y'all
Uh-huh.
were in Virginia.
Yeah.
I went and saw this by myself, and because I like Saturday Night Live, I was like, let me check it out. This movie, it is about like the hour before they go on air for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is so chaotic, like showing all the difficulties they have.
Yeah.
The performances are so good. But what makes it even more like chaotic and tense is like every now and then the clock showing how much time till showtime.
Yeah.
And there's like a
Ah.
why people are like running around or screaming
Yeah.
or
Oh,
something.
I bet. Dude, I wanted to see that movie.
The acting is so good. The performances, just everyone kills it. Like
Yeah.
the Chevy Chase guy is great. John Belushi's great.
Ooh.
And if you like Saturday Night Live, this made me be like, man, you know what? I really want to watch some of those like older Saturday Night
Yeah.
Lives. Because they just show you like what a family, what a cast of characters they
Yeah.
had in those early years.
Yeah.
Number 2, I don't care what a single person says. This is one of the best movies of the year. Action packed. That's The Beekeeper. You telling me Jason Statham just going around
Actually was a fun movie.
beating up all these little jerks, robbing
Mhm.
elderly folks? Like me and Trey work in banking. We've seen firsthand
Oh yeah.
people who were impacted lose
Mhm.
their money because of folks like this.
Yeah.
So see him just be like, "Oi, mate, guess what?" Bah!
Yeah. Yeah, man, and they knew the title was ridiculous and the storyline,
Mhm.
but it was still fun.
Yeah.
It was still a good movie.
Dude, Beekeeper, love it. For a while, it was in my top 13.
Yeah.
It just got nudged out though.
Yeah.
But my number 1 honorable mention, so
Could have been
just
right there.
shy. It was literally today. I was deciding between 2 movies, and this one did not make top 13. Uh-oh, I need a new brain. Because I'm going to smile, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Smile too. Trey can tell y'all this.
Yeah.
We love horror.
Mm-hmm.
For
Oh, it's
me,
my favorite
Smile
genre.
2, scariest horror movie of the year.
Yeah.
Really?
Because, like, Trey can tell you, I was like,
it's the tensest movie.
I
of
was
the year.
so tense. I was squirming in my chair. I was so
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And, like, there's some great jump scares.
Mhm.
And I love the scene where she's going to her closet and there's like 15 people there and they're like,
Oh yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
like following her.
The movie was extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Very tense. They knew what they were. The writer knew what he was doing, and it was really good. I still like the first one better though.
See, I
But-
was going to say, I love Smile 1, but
Mhm.
I think this one's a little better.
Well, it's a better made movie.
Yeah, it's definitely
He's-
better made.
Smile 2 is definitely better made.
It's got more talent.
Yeah.
A better acting. But I think I just liked the campiness.
No,
of
Sosie Bacon killed it in the first
Yeah,
one.
she really did do it good. And I think it also surprised me because we saw the demon. We never see that before.
That ending's crazy.
That was a good, that was solid. Smile 2 was good, though. It was really good. I'm glad to see
almost made my top 13.
Yeah.
But Trey, let's find out what made your top 13. You're putting your criticus.
Yeah.
Your, reality. Your eyes, your highness.
Yep.
What do you have?
Oh, man.
As the 13 best films for 2024?
This was, I look at this and I feel very happy with this. I want to preface, I haven't seen Wicked and I haven't seen Strange Darling. 2 movies I heard.
Strange Darling was good.
Very good. Strange Darling's highly praised in the horror community, and I'm ashamed I haven't seen it yet.
You would dig it.
But I feel like that would have been high up there. And then I do want to say, only because before I dive into this, I did leave this one off because it wasn't in the wiki pages and I missed it. And it just dawned on me. My old favorite little Tubi original that I introduced you to. And I can't even think of the name.
Low Lives.
Low Lives. Amazing, amazing movie. So,
you know what? Shout out to Low Lives.
Yeah.
Because I've been on here all the time. I'm talking about how I have an issue with streaming nowadays.
Yeah.
Because they always they keep raising the prices and then trying to get you to get commercials.
Yeah, it's a new cable.
Streaming shouldn't have commercials.
Right.
There's too many of them. There's too many prices. So Tubi has really been there for us with movies. And Low Lives, that opening scene.
Did you see Low Lives with me? Your mom was the one that got me to see it.
I feel like I watched
It's this family. They're just on a nice little trip in an RV.
And then they break down and there's 2 like hillbilly style characters and they come into the RV. Has a really good twist.
Yeah.
No, I remember that.
That movie was fantastic.
So,
and
shout out to Low Lives.
Shout out to Low Lives for us start this because I meant to put that on my list and totally
just
forgot.
Missed my honorable mention.
It would have made mine, but at number 13, honestly, I wish this could have been higher. At number 13, Red Rooms.
Oh,
Red Rooms is a massive hit in the horror community. This movie explores how one person who's so obsessed with a serial killer and his actions affects her with a really good twist. She is a crime documentary like aficionado, connoisseur, and becomes obsessed with them. And one, I guess, murder / serial killer, murderer, she obsesses over, and it happens in her hometown. And the whole movie is in the courtrooms. She just goes in the courtroom. She's watching this and she's becoming obsessed with it. And what ends up unfolding is insane.
I haven't heard this one.
Oh, man, this movie is big in the horror community. I can't believe you hadn't heard of it. Well, and I honestly,
you're adding a lot to my watch list.
Yeah, but it's really good. That's the only one you still have to pay for.
Okay,
but I did it and it was worth it. But Red Rooms at number 13. Awesome movie, and it really hasn't left me. I'll have to watch that one with you one day. I think you'll really like it. At number 12, in my top 13, number 12, Terrifier 3.
Nice.
How could it not? How could it not? I'm such a big Terrifier fan. I love the franchise. They're only getting better. Well, I do have an edge for 2.
Yeah,
but
2.
But 3 was a lot of fun. And
we're going to Days of the Dead.
Go Days of the Dead. We're gonna get to meet them both, get their autographs. I'm such a Terrifier fan. So I had to put it on there.
Dude, no, I like that.
At number 11, Furiosa.
Dude, yes.
I loved Furiosa. Here's the thing. This movie is almost as good as Mad Max Fury Road. It's got the acting is there, the action, the cinematography, it does not miss. I am so sad
that we probably will not get another one.
Yeah.
Or George Miller might not even be around. You know,
Anya Taylor-Joy,
oh my
incredible.
God. You never saw that
Chris
movie, but
Hemsworth.
Furiosa was fantastic.
Dude, Chris Hemsworth, who is Australian,
Yeah,
actually getting to be Australian,
Yeah.
and he's just like this jerk.
yeah.
So good.
I saw it twice.
I saw it twice in theaters.
I saw it twice. It was fantastic.
because I saw it with you and Jerv.
I saw it twice in theaters. Yeah, it was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. But at number 11, Furiosa.
Get the Bobby Naka.
At number 10, I couldn't put it any higher, but I definitely felt like it deserved it in my neck of the woods. Nosferatu.
Dude, nice.
Maybe a little bit of recency bias, but it had all the historical elements. The acting was fantastic. The dialogue was really good. The cinematography, attention to detail. You're immersed in this world.
Yeah.
Count Orlok was fantastic. Bill Skarsgård just knocks it out of the park again.
Robert Eggers, man.
Robert Eggers, he just does not miss. Definitely not my favorite Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
But 100% top 13 worthy. Really enjoyed it. It is a slow burn, but if you can just look around the screen and just you feel like you're transported in time, you really have a lot of fun in the movie. I really enjoyed it. So Nosferatu at number 10.
Dude, nice.
At number 9, and this is where I feel pretty confident in my listings. At number 9, I have The Substance.
Dude, okay.
This movie's really grown on me. When I got out of the movie the first time, I was like, what in the world did I just see? And then I just kept thinking about it, and I was like, man, this movie was good. Like it was original. It came out of nowhere. I mean,
Demi Moore
with
the performance of her life.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley, freaking David Quaid,
Yeah,
Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid being just despicable.
The shrimp.
And this movie just had a lot to say, and it did it. You know,
Dude,
it
Coralie
delivered.
Farge, who we're big fans on the pod for Revenge.
Yeah, we've had her on our list for a long time as a good director. And this movie had no marketing. It came out of nowhere. And then once people saw it and realized it, it had the same effect Saltburn had. Saltburn didn't have any marketing. Then people started talking about it on TikTok and got really big.
Yeah.
The Substance was really good. And so definitely top 13 worthy.
Dude, I dig it.
At number 8, Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
The movie was fantastic. I'm such a big Alien fan, and it's easily in the top, 3 of best Alien movies.
Right.
It's just good, and they make aliens scary again, and they give us a final act that I mean, we're all pretty shit.
Kaylee Spaney.
Yeah, we'll see a theme there. But at number 7, Civil War.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Kaylee Spaney.
Yep, back to back. Civil War was so good.
Yeah.
Alex Garland doesn't miss. I mean, it felt so real, especially what's going on in current times. You felt like this movie had a statement to say.
Yeah.
And
some good action.
Really good action, really good story, and really cool way to tell a story where you center on war investigative journalists.
Yeah.
And they show both sides, and both sides act how I feel like they would act. They're bipartisan. They show, hey, let me tell your story, and then let me go to the other side and tell their story.
But Trey, what kind of American are you?
Yeah,
Jesse Plemons. Good Lord,
just great as always. And the movie was really tense.
Yeah,
it had a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah,
a lot of heartbreak. And I think that's another good thing is we had really good character development in this movie. We followed around about 5 people, in a sense, and
4 main ones.
The
main dude, MJ, Kaylee, and the old guy.
Yeah, and you really get to love these characters and go on this journey with them. So when things happen,
you've got some heartbreak, you've just got, some tears, and it's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
At number 6, I have Long Legs.
Let him in now.
Long Legs was so good. I could not get over that movie. It was so much fun to watch. There was so much hype surrounding this movie, with Nicolas Cage getting us a non-Nicolas Cage role, which is refreshing to see from him, because all he knows how to play is Nick Cage. And man, he just did such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was really good. It was really dark. And
dude, don't forget Mika Monroe.
She is an original horror queen.
Yeah.
I mean, she starred in horror. She loves horror. She's pretty much good in every horror movie I've ever seen her in. I mean,
follows. What's the hike one?
Significant Other. Watchers, The Watcher.
Oh yeah, Watcher was great.
I mean, and then this.
She kills it, man.
She does. And I always thought that was her in Late Night with the Devil as the wife. It looked just like her, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
But entering my top 5.
The top 5
best of the
for
year.
Trey.
And there's no question about it.
No, I know you're gonna list one that I'm not gonna agree with.
Oh.
Okay. Well, at number 5, Oddity.
Nice.
Okay.
Oddity was so good. It did come to theaters, but it was felt like a Shudder original almost. But just like Spencer said,
put them back.
It was so good. That director is fantastic. He also did Caveat.
Yeah.
And
which
he had
the Caveat Rabbit.
Yeah, he had a
shout
little
out in this.
He really did. I think he needs to be watched as a person of interest in movies going forward. That movie was just so good. And to me, I think that was the scariest movie of the year.
I was thinking like Smile 2 to me, just because like I'm okay with getting scared. I hate being like tense and uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was a different type of
But
scary.
other than Smile 2, I would say Oddity, like the couple parts where she screamed out of nowhere, like put them back. Like that made me jump out of my seat. And the scene where she's looking at the cameras and there's the guy just standing there. Then she looks out of the tent and he's like, hey there.
The scene that got me the most
terrifying,
because it just felt so creepy, was when the girlfriend was really starting to get freaked out.
Yeah.
She was taking the pictures and then saw her in the corner. Mm-hmm. But then she was like, all right, I'm out of here. And she walks out the house. And then you see the ghost of the sister's face coming out from the house. You remember that scene? That scene was just so eerie.
So good.
Oddity was, to me, the scariest movie of the year, and so good. I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times. So it had to be in my top 5.
It 3 times.
It was so good.
I'm too scared.
At number 4, and I wish it could be higher, but it just can't. It just sadly can't. It's What's Inside.
Oh.
That was really good.
It's What's Inside is one of the best movies I have seen this year. This would be in my top 13 if I combine this year and last year's list. It was that good. Mm-hmm. The acting was unbelievable. The cinematography, the directing, what he decided to do, and how he told the story with the color palette, you remember that? Mm-hmm. Was so good. And how he chose to show who is actually who. Mm-hmm. That movie is so good. I would recommend this movie to everyone.
Yeah.
I would recommend this movie to every single person. I don't care if what type of movie they like. I say you need to see this movie. It's just that good. And these people are nobodies.
Good.
I've never seen them in anything, and they did better acting than A-listers in some movies I've seen. They were so good. And again, Eddie, you've got to see this movie. I'm honestly sad you missed it before this
I
list.
know.
It could have made it.
It's okay.
But to my top 3, and it's just
3.
I'm just like, I'm waiting for you to say this movie, and I'm like, there's no way it's top 3. But go ahead.
All right, we'll see. At number 3, Late Night with the Devil. This movie was fantastic. I've seen it 3-4 times. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like
Welcome Night Owl.
Yeah, it's just it's not even scary. It's just such an
It's
engaging
fun.
and
Yeah.
fun movie to watch. Like, I cannot get over the movie. The acting was top notch.
Yeah.
And every character played such a fun and
Yeah.
important role.
Even like his little buddy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just couldn't get over it. It's like Spencer said, it felt just so authentic to a late night talk show. Oh, it was so good. And with a good twist.
Yeah.
With a really good twist. You didn't think a story like this that's kind of light would have such a deep, rooted story. Very good. At number 2.
Oh, God.
Say it.
There is no question. There's no question. And anyone in the horror community would agree with me. And I know for certain it's on Eddie's list, or it should be.
Here we go.
And it's 100% on mine. At number 2 is Heretic.
No.
Oh.
At number 2, it's Heretic.
No.
There's no question about it. That is one of the best movies I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It was so captivating. I couldn't take my eyes off
Hugh
screen.
Grant killed it.
Hugh Grant did some of the best performance I've seen. And the 2 girls.
Yeah.
They
One of them's the one who's going to be in Companion.
both were actually Mormons. So they really had, I mean, it was also deep rooted with their own personal experiences.
Mhm.
So they really, it was kind of, their performance was natural. They knew exactly how to like portray those characters because they've lived it. But you just never knew where the movie was going.
Yeah.
And then when it ended, you were just like, wow, what a journey.
Mhm.
Everything made sense. It's one of those horror movies to me where I'm like, anyone in that situation, I feel like
Mhm.
would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But it just, every story played a little differently. And, it's one of those things where as audiences, there's a lot of times in movies they're like, just kill them, you'll outnumber them, but they're trapped.
Yeah.
If they do that, it's not going to help their case. You know what I mean? And he's so charming.
Yeah.
There's a part of you, even though you're trapped, you feel like you can trust him. Hugh Grant's just got that charm about
Yep.
him. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
Heretic, it's about on everyone's top 10 in the horror community that I've seen. Everyone recommends Heretic. I love it. And everyone that we've seen that movie with, aside from Spencer, says and Shay, love that movie. Love that movie.
I think I would have liked it more had you not hyped it up so much,
Yeah.
because I was expecting like best movie of the year.
Mhm.
And then when we finished, I was like, that was it. Or like going through it, like you're kind of led to think some things are about to happen and you're like getting yourself worked up. You're like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. And then it doesn't happen. And you're just like, what the heck? I could have imagined a better plot than that. So that's
I don't
me
know.
personally though. I didn't love Heretic.
It's
I
all
love
about
Hugh Grant though, and I love old girl. She's in Yellow Jackets.
Mhm.
Love Yellow Jackets.
well, the story centers, it's all about control.
Yeah.
And what religion has done, to Western civilization
And Monopoly.
and Monopoly. Yeah. and it really explores control.
Mhm.
And I think that's what really you go home. I think that's what's so important about Heretic is it's a movie you think about after you leave the theater. You continue to talk about it.
I expected more.
But, my boy,
I mean, there's no surprise here.
what is your number 1 film of the year?
No surprise here. Should be on everyone's. Doom Part 2.
Oh,
Doom Part 2.
Oh,
I forgot about the name.
Yeah.
I forgot. He's
Yeah.
like, no surprise. I'm like, what is it?
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
I thought
I forgot.
Heretic was gonna be yours.
No.
Lisa Naive.
Doom Part 2 was one of the most amazing sci-fi epics I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The acting was superb, cinematography, directing. I mean, I got chills. I can't tell you the last time I got chills in the
multiplying?
theaters when he is on that final battle scene.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just an epic. I mean, you're literally seeing a so-called prophet almost, you know, like the chosen one coming into his his prophecy almost, you know, and it's fun to see him conquer everything. It's fun to see him win. And had really good villains and just really good action. That ending was fantastic. Oh,
The worms.
the
The
worm.
worms.
were so cool.
It was just so good. I mean, I think everyone's biggest complaint with it was probably Christopher Walken,
Yeah.
but I mean, he didn't.
He did his part.
He did his part for me. Doom Part 2 was just so good. I love it. And that wraps up my top 13 of the year.
All right,
Nice.
real quick recap.
Okay, so from worst to best, Red Rooms, Terrifier 3, Furiosa, Nosferatu, The Substance, Alien Romulus, Civil War, Longlegs, Oddity, It's What's Inside, Late Night with the Devil, Heretic, and Doom Part 2. And just thinking about this, Heretic, Late Night with the Devil, It's What's Inside, Oddity, Longlegs, Alien Romulus, The Substance, and Terrifier 3, and Red Rooms, 9 of my top 13 were horror movies.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And that just shows how much of a horror fan I am.
Wow.
All right, here we go. My top 13 of the year.
Let's do it.
Doom Part 2?
At number 13 is a movie I don't know why it's like no one's talking about this movie.
Okay.
One of the biggest budgets of the year.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best looking effects of the year. Great acting, great cast. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I love Planet of the Apes movies. I own every single one of them. I love every single one of them.
Yeah.
Even the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah.
And this movie, it had such a great story. We had our girl from The Witcher was in it. I thought everyone who played the apes did really good. I think that what they're doing with the effects of the apes, is only getting better.
Yeah.
And I just think this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
So it's stuck with me since I've seen it.
No, you're right. No one really is talking about
No
that,
one's talking about it.
but no one talks about those movies in general.
Yeah, when that Matt Reeves could be one of the best trilogies ever made.
It really could be. All amazing ratings, and this one had amazing ratings. And you're right. You just do not hear about it.
Just don't care. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just don't
They
think people
just don't
care
care.
about it's
I
just
care.
a storyline that has been done for so long.
Yeah.
And I think people are just kind of over it.
Yep.
But even though they're continuing to do it, they're still continuing to do it right. And look at Mission Impossible. There's a ton of those, and that started back in like 2002.
Yeah, and this started in the 60s.
So yeah, but these still, the Mission Impossible is still good to this day. And yeah, same with Planet of the Apes.
So number 12, I know my boy is not going to understand this, but at number 12, I have Hundreds of Beavers.
What?
This movie, I was smiling and laughing the entire time. It is a slapstick comedy, black and white movie, where it's about this hunter and these beavers burn down his orchard. So he's trying to get revenge and trying to get money so he can win over the girl of his dreams. It's a silent movie, no speaking. And all the animals are represented by people in animal costumes. But it's just I was smiling and laughing the whole time because I don't know, the slapstick humor worked for me. The lead guy was funny. Every time you see the animals doing something, because like, imagine like a 6-foot dude in a beaver outfit, but it's supposed to represent like an actual beaver. It's a funny movie. Y'all need to check it out. Okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah. Hundreds of reasons not to see it.
First of all, how dare you? Hundreds of Beavers. Incredible movie. And you know me, I don't like comedy, but I was laughing that whole movie. There's a Sherlock Holmes and Watson beaver. Once he starts killing beavers, they're like trying to figure out where the beavers have went, and they have the outfits and everything. It's just a funny movie. But at number 11, dun 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 dun, Furiosa.
That's what I like to hear.
Love Furiosa.
So good.
I think it's right up there with Mad Max Beyond Fury Road.
Yeah.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy was great. I think I'm blanking on his name right now, but the gentleman who was the lead opposite to her, who was just like this very honorable guy, was great. Chris Hemsworth is just so slimy in it, and the action was great.
It was.
Get the Bobby Naka.
And I gotta say this because this is just something I don't understand. The people who like Fury Road, which you're looking at one, I love that movie. I thought that was like top 10 of 2014. I absolutely adore Fury Road. I don't know why people who absolutely love that movie don't like Furiosa.
I don't either.
It's never made sense to me. It's the same.
I mean, it literally has
formula.
like the same characters, Morton Joe, everything.
it's the exact same formula, exact same director, same type of cinematography, same type of storytelling and acting.
Mhm.
It does not make any sense to me. I'll never understand it.
Same score.
Yeah.
Maybe this was like a copycat.
Well, it tells her story, which is important because it's a story everyone wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I think people really wanted Charlize Theron in it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy nailed it. Like,
Honestly, look, no disrespect to Charlize Theron. Okay,
I don't think she could have done it as good.
I don't think she could have, because they went with a very like demanding role where like she's having to do these flips and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Like the scene
Well,
where it gets revealed that she's a girl
yeah.
on the like big rig.
Well, and it wouldn't work because they needed her to look younger.
Yeah.
Which Anya Taylor-Joy obviously is. And Charlize Theron has only aged 10 years
Yeah.
since the last movie. So there's no way they could have made her look younger without CG. And then CG would just look bad
Yeah,
if you like over the face. So
I think they killed it.
yeah, they killed it. Great choice.
So number 10, if there's one thing we love, it's monster movies. And if there's one thing I love, and that's Anthony Mackie. So number 10, I have Elevation.
Hey, okay.
I went into this movie. The only thing I knew is there's monsters.
Uh-huh.
There's Anthony Mackie. I knew nothing else. Hadn't
Yeah.
seen a trailer. I went into it and I was just over the moon.
Yeah.
The monsters look cool. They show them in the daytime. Y'all don't understand how very few and far between we
Yeah.
get monsters in the daytime.
Yeah.
Full look at them. The
Yeah.
CG was good. The action's good. It had a really good jump scare where a character like falls and like looks up and the monster's like right in their face.
Yeah.
Just insanely good movie.
Mhm.
And I had to shout out. Okay, number 9, much like how Trey's like, I wish I could put this higher. This one, it literally kills me on the inside. I cannot put this higher. But number 9, I have Honora.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Honora has quite possibly what could be the best performance of the year from Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen her in Scream.
Yeah.
We've seen her getting the hell beat out of her at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But in this
She's a
movie,
great actress.
where
man.
she's this stripper, you know,
Yeah.
and she goes on this movie takes place over just 1 week, where she's a stripper. This like rich punk kid, you know, comes in who's like a Russian. His family's like billionaires in
Mhm.
Russia, and they fall in love. They get married, and then there's discourse over that. And this is all in 1 week.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
looked really good.
such a great movie. She gives such a just endearing performance. And I'll say this, and I truly mean this.
Mhm.
The last shot of this movie is one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've ever seen in a film.
Mm.
You're going to leave, you're going to watch it, and you're going to be like, this is fantastic. And that last shot,
Man.
you're going to just be like, I'm kind of bummed out now.
Well, same director who did like the Florida Project,
Florida Project, Red
Tangerine.
Rocket, yeah.
And you know, and he's
Sean Baker.
Yeah, great director. And you know what's so crazy is the main girl who plays Honora,
Mikey Madison.
yeah, Mikey Madison. She's such a great actress.
Yeah.
She's such a classy individual in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Because I watch her interviews. She's so well put together,
Yeah.
so well spoken. But it's so funny. That's the opposite of any role she ever plays.
Especially because
And she does such a
the
good
movie
job.
literally opens with her and 4 other girls wearing just thongs
Yeah.
grinding on men.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the type of movie.
But I mean, that's how a lot of people are. A lot of, you know, people, they really get to invest in those roles because that's not how they are.
Yeah.
So they have to like fully embrace
Yeah.
the role.
yeah, she's on my watch list for like star power. I think she's gonna really
Mhm.
like be a big time celebrity because, like I said,
This is getting a lot of, you know, award talk.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was just 2019. That
Yeah.
was kind of like her first appearance that I really remember her in, and now she's getting a lot
Scream
more
5.
yeah, Scream 5, which I love. I love Scream
Trey
5.
loves.
Yeah, but good. Okay, good pick.
So-
So what are we at? Number 8.
Number 8.
Okay.
Well, you know, life is a mystery. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
I don't care what the people say about this movie because I follow a lot of movie friends. I've talked with a lot of movie friends.
Mhm.
I don't know what y'all wanted from this movie. Like, what do you want? Because we got Ryan Reynolds
Mhm.
giving his all.
Yeah.
We got to see Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Maybe the greatest casted superhero character in the history.
It could be argued.
I mean, I don't see how he could be anything other than top 5 at the minimum. We get to see him. We get people who they were put into these roles that weren't appreciated, you know, like Elektra, you know, and they get a little chance to relive it again, and they get it done right.
Yeah.
This movie,
Deadpool Wolverine was great.
It's fun. It's quotable. It's rewatchable.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you want from a movie.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Had to put it on my list.
I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. I wish I could have put in my top 13, but it made honorable mention for me.
So number 7 movie that we've been already discussed, and that is Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
It's everything I want from an Alien movie.
Yeah.
The xenomorphs look great. The movie's great. Kaylee Spaney is great.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more. Like
No,
that's all we've discussed.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
It checked the boxes.
It did.
And just by checking the boxes, because we're such Alien fans, gets it in for top 13.
So this next one's going to be interesting because I don't know if y'all have heard about this movie or anything, but I have a very good reason it's this high on my list.
Okay.
So number 6, I have Fly Me to the Moon.
Mm.
This is a movie where it has Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, and it's about
Yes,
when we're going to land on the moon, and the team that quote unquote were doing a backup fake moon landing in case we couldn't broadcast them landing.
Yeah.
This movie, the reason it's this high on my list, you know, I tell Trey all the time, like while they were gone, since I was going to theater by myself a lot, I just go on Thursday, opening night, but I went on a Saturday afternoon to see this. The theater was packed. I mean, completely packed.
Wow.
Families, you know, older people, younger people, just completely packed.
Yeah.
And then I watched this movie that is just a feel-good movie. You watch it, you laugh, you know, you tear up at a couple points, you're smiling because the movie is so fun and well made. And everyone in the audience, like in the laugh scenes, people are laughing. There's people going, oh, there's people, like I looked around a couple of times, people are just smiling. And sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you just need a movie that, you know, it's not something that's going to make you think. It's not something that's going to make you depressed. You're just going to feel good when you watch it. So Fly Me to the Moon, I cannot recommend enough because it's just a movie that'll make you feel good. You're going to feel so good walking out of the theater. Or if you watch it at home, you're going to end it and you're going to be like, that was a good little movie. Man.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I remember you praising that movie, but I didn't think it was going to be top 13.
Dude, it's just one of the better movies I've seen in terms of you feel good.
Interesting.
All right. Top 5, my boy.
I'm hearing a lot that's not been on my list, and I think,
dude, same. We have a lot of different movies.
Because I think we've only
we're gonna do a couple crossovers.
Okay, but we've only crossed over one in our top 13, I think.
So at number 5, you know, we talk about movies, and the key to movies is acting. And number 5, I have what I dare say would be the best acting I have seen this year, and that is Sing Sing. So Sing Sing is a drama about prisoners in, you know, they're in jail, and they have a like they get together and put on plays for the rest of the prison.
Okay,
they have like a group.
Yeah.
And they meet and they discuss what their play is going to be. They write the scripts themselves, and then they do the acting. And what made this movie such an experience where I walked out and I was just like, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Is this movie, everyone in the movie are actually the people from Sing Sing Penitentiary who were part of that program, who have since gotten out.
Wow.
And so it's them getting to play themselves, getting to tell their own story. And then you have Coleman Domingo, who's one of my favorite actors going right now.
Yeah.
He plays one of the, you know, he's one of the only actors in the movie. But everyone else are actually the people from this prison who have reformed, gotten out of the prison.
Yeah.
And then they made this film. And it's just some of the best acting of the year, period. And Coleman Domingo, he has a scene where he thinks he's getting out and they deny it, and he has a breakdown. And if that doesn't pull at your heart, where he was sure he was getting out, I don't know what will. So Sing Sing is a movie I cannot recommend enough, because if you want acting and you want to see hope, because like that's all these people have.
Yeah.
And one other thing my buddy Corey had said was he appreciated, because so often with these, prison films, they tell you why they're in there.
Mm-hmm.
They label them as like what they did. In this movie, you're never once told what these people are in there for. You're never once told anything. You're just told, this is, Mike, and let's get on with the movie. And it's fantastic.
Okay.
So at number 4.
I do like a good drama.
No, it's, if you like a good drama,
Yeah.
Sing Sing, check it out.
Okay.
And like I said, based on a true story with the actual people that the story is based on.
That's
acting
cool.
in the movie. Number 4, well, Night Owls, the time has come.
Could it not be in the top 5? It can't. That is a top
Dude,
5 absolute lock.
Late Night with the Devil. I have many qualms with the ending. I've been very, outspoken about that. I have a lot of qualms about the ending. But what I cannot deny is the acting, the story, and the fact David Dalsmatian, who always plays this quiet, weirdo,
Psychopath,
for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
To see him out there, like, outdoing like a Jimmy Fallon type.
The most charismatic. He
just walks up, hello, Night
Yeah.
Owls, welcome in, we have a great show. Like,
he plays such a charismatic person. I can't see him not playing that role anymore.
I
Now
know.
it's weird seeing him play a slimy character,
in The
even though
Boogeyman
that's
or
all he's
something.
ever played. Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what he does next,
Yeah.
because I really hope we get another movie like this performance where he was Jack Delroy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If he would be at Days of the Dead,
yeah,
I guarantee I'd be bringing a poster for him to sign. Like,
dude. Oh yeah,
I'd
bring
love-
that little thing right there.
Yeah.
I have a little like mini pic.
I think I have the steelbook sealed.
It's in there.
Yeah. And I think I would just get him to sign that.
Oh, dude, it's
You
a
know,
good steelbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at number 3, Trey, I think we need to take The Substance.
Oh.
The Substance.
Oh.
That movie blew my mind when I
Yeah.
watched it. Demi Moore, I didn't know was capable of that, because we think of Demi Moore with like her past career.
Mm-hmm.
We think of Demi Moore, who we envision her as a person,
Oh, yeah.
from this, that, and the other. But to see her in this,
Demi Moore was
to
fantastic.
the levels she goes in this,
Yeah.
and then Margaret Qualley,
Yeah. She was
exceptional
great.
as ever.
Yeah.
And Dennis Quaid, it's just, they don't make movies like this.
Mm-mm.
And Coralie Fairgate, was brave enough to do it, had the support to do it, and gave us what I feel is easily one of the greatest films of the year.
Man, it
I'd
was
say
so
one
good.
of the greatest films made. Like, it's
It
just,
was
it's
so
so
good.
good.
I think what made it better is you just didn't expect it.
You
Like, it
never,
never-
know the turn it's gonna take.
You don't, that there was no marketing.
Yeah.
This movie just came out and it just was like, what? It
Yeah.
delivered, man. Like, it was so good,
Mhm.
You just leave the theater with your mouth on the floor.
You
Like,
really do.
It's just
After that
wild.
ending scene.
Yeah. I remember when me and Spencer went and saw that together in theaters that night in the Cinemark. Yeah.
And then you called me and we're like, dude.
Yeah. That movie was just wild. Okay. Top 2.
So at
And I
number,
know I got to hear one. One better be in the top 2.
at number 2, I have. So Spencer likes to give me a hard time because I cry so often in movies. At number 2, this movie had me cry the hardest of any movie this year. And that is The Wild Robot.
Okay. Okay.
This movie is so wonderful. It's so beautiful. The voice cast.
I heard it's fantastic.
Trey, this,
I
you
heard
don't
it is
understand how
fantastic.
big this voice cast is. Like Mark Hamill,
Oh yeah.
Lupita
no.
Nyong'o. Like, I
Yeah.
could go on. But this movie, it's about this robot
Yeah.
that crashes and it serves humans.
Yeah.
And it washes up on an island where there's no humans. So then it like goes into an observation mode
yeah.
where it's frozen for a year.
Mhm.
And it is able to then be able to communicate with animals.
Yeah.
And then it learns from these animals. And there's a scene where this huge blizzard comes.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like, okay, everything that's about to die.
Mhm.
And Roz the robot creates a fire and literally goes out and finds every single animal, no matter carnivore, herbivore, big, small, whatever,
Right.
drags every one of them into this hut she built.
Mm.
And they're, of course, they're animals. So, like, you know, the fox is like, oh, I'm going to eat this rabbit.
Yeah.
And, you know, the deer fighting and all this stuff.
Right.
And Roz is like, she got injured trying to help them. And she's like leaking. And so she's like essentially dying.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, look, can we just, while we're in here, just chill?
Yeah.
And gives this whole speech about like life's hard enough. And as she's like slowly powering down, and I'm just in the theater.
Animals understand the robot.
Yeah, because she learns animal talk, is what I was saying. But it's no, I'm telling you, it is.
I couldn't have been in this movie. I've been laughing too hard.
I was bawling my eyes out.
Cracked
Bawling my
I
eyes
just
out.
hear Eddie sniffling. I'd been laughing.
The Wild Robot, one of the most beautiful films of the year. One of my favorite films of all time.
I can't even give you a flag for that. I heard it is a fantastic movie. And the ratings are near perfect.
Yeah.
98, 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like,
well deserved.
And I heard, you know, just like the Iron Giant, we all grew up loving the Iron Giant. I heard this is the new generation's Iron Giant.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I heard.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
But this movie's been #1 since I saw it.
Oh,
It's been #1 the whole time.
Come on, but I need to hear it.
The Fall Guy.
What?
What?
The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Since I have seen this
Are you
movie,
expecting Heretic?
You didn't have it on any list?
no.
What?
Hell yeah. I respect that. Eddie.
What?
I'm sorry, my boy. I'm
I
sorry.
love Fall Guy.
Oh, over Heretic?
The
Yeah.
Fall Guy
Bro, I am
Has
disappointed.
been-
I've never been more disappointed.
has
in
been
life.
my #1 since I saw it.
Good.
I love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I love Emily Blunt.
Mm-mm.
And me being somebody who loves movies, I love movies about making movies.
Mhm.
This movie, it's fun. It's good action, good story, practical stunt
Your
effects.
face.
I love
can't.
it so much.
I've never been so disappointed.
I'm sorry, my boy.
I've never been so. Not on any
No,
list.
I'm sorry.
Heretic was not great.
I couldn't do it, my boy.
That movie was almost 5 stars for you. You had it like a
I know.
4.8.
And it had to get cut.
A cut that's almost perfect. I just some things
I'm
just don't
sorry,
make
my
sense.
boy. I'm
Some
sorry.
things just don't
No,
make
Fall
sense.
Guy was
I'm
The
calling
Fall
Don.
Guy.
I'm calling Don.
Hey, the Fall Guy, though. Love it so much. #1 in my heart. But
I thought he was going to say werewolves. I was about to shit my pants.
No.
so top
I
13,
cannot believe what
Kingdom
I
of the
heard.
Planet of the Apes, Hundreds of Beavers, Furiosa, Elevation, Anora, Deadpool and Wolverine, Alien Romulus, Fly Me to the Moon, Sing Sing, Late Night with the Devil, The Substance, The Wild Robot, and The Fall Guy.
I respect it. That's a good list.
Thank you,
I
little
did
honey.
respect it. I did. Until I realized not even Heretic made honorable mention.
No.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Couldn't do it, my boy.
Unreal.
The way the cookie crumbles.
Unreal.
But guys, we hope you stayed through all this. You know, I'll have the timestamps below so you can check everything
I hope
out.
you missed the last 5 minutes of
This dirty dog.
to leave it open for interpretation.
Hey, if you go back and listen to our best of last year, when I had Godzilla -1 #8, Trey had like a similar meltdown.
This is worse.
This is worse.
Not even honorable mention.
I'm
for
sorry, my
Heretic.
boy. I'm sorry.
Heretic.
Hey, you had it high. That's all that matters.
Oh.
But if you want to
Calm
let us
down.
know what's your best of the year, what's your worst of the year, and who knows, maybe you want to let us know where you fall on the heretic scale. Should it have been best of the year? Should it have been honorable mention? Should it have been worst of the year? I don't know. But you can tell us. And let me tell you the best way to tell us. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast of Film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter @film_toast. Or check us out on beautiful YouTube where you can see Trey die on the inside when I don't say heretic.
Heartbroken.
#1.
Heartbroken.
But now, stay tuned for a little extra where we show you the stuff that took place before we started rolling.
Hey, man, not a bad episode, buddy.
Okay, we are officially recording.
Okay.
Let's get this bad boy going. Would you do the honors, my boy?
I'd be honored.
If you hit me with that.
No, I'm not gonna
Just
shoot
make sure
it.
you get on camera.
I'm not gonna shoot it.
Just do a gentlemanly pop. Ooh, that was classy.
Gonna bust somebody's
All right.
eardrums.
I do say.
These are nice glassware too. You can tell.
Yeah. Only the best for y'all.
My boy. Well, ASMR.
Yeah.
Welcome in.
Welcome into Toast to Phil.
Connect the cuts.
All right, give me your glass. We're gonna. Oh, there's actually a lot in this thing.
Make money, money, money. Make money, money, money.
I'm like said, connect the cuts.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. The Devil Inside is not a great movie, but that was a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a creepy scene.
Okay, I'm good on champagne now.
All right.
Mio Netto Prosecco. My dear man. My good man.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let me try this bad boy.
Why is it spicy?
Not bad. Extra dry.
Yes, it's spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Champagne's never my
All
favorite.
right.
But
So here's how we do it. Okay. So Trey, do the intro. We'll welcome people in. We'll let them know. I'll do my bad stuff.
okay.
We'll have Spence come in, give her a list,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll get our best and honorable mentions and all that out of the way.
Okay.
We got to get the negative out of the way first.
Yeah.
You can tell your 5. I'll tell my stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like because me, I have a lot of bad to talk.
End on a good note.
Yeah. All right. So whenever you're ready, my boy.